Right before we decided we were going to move in together, and so we had like an Excel spreadsheet, and it was like, okay, like what's a rent that we're wanting to pay, and like how much are we each going to contribute to rent, and then what are other bills and like financial responsibilities that we have.
And what do you do now?
So I work in software sales.
Okay, awesome. And what do you do?
I'm in the restaurant business.
And so then what's your salary versus what's your salary, Bailey?
So I'm making between like 300 to 350 a year.
Good girl. That's what we like to hear. Sorry, no offense.
Yeah. And I'm making 70 a year, but there will be bonuses and,
Returns from
returns, but like the business hasn't been lucrative yet. We just opened.
First of all, don't finish my sentences. You know what I'm saying? I can speak for myself. Secondly, it is shade. It's an emasculation tactic a lot of times. And you can see it from the host. And a lot of times y'all got to be able to read between the lines of what they're communicating to you. And so if the woman says, okay, I make between $300,000 and $400,000 a year, and then the girl say, good girl, no offense to you, that's offense to you. She's basically, without you even realizing it, communicating to her also self-consciously that you're better than him, which she's not. But we gonna get there. Don't worry about it.
Open them. I need to figure out how to relax and not just be invested in that all the time. Real estate was always a passion of mine, but I never pursued it. She also likes to decorate.
Yeah.
That.
Home
So
improvement.
yeah.
Yes.
So that could be a good
I could see you
combination
guys
for
with like
future.
a HGTV show.
He's so handy. I call him Construction Nico.
I love it. That's so good. So basically there's three main ways that couples can split finances. It could be either 50-50 split, or one person is paying for everything and the other person's not really paying for anything, or you do percentage based. So which one do you guys think that you do?
With that, I think we did our rent proportionate to what we make. And then for everything else, like food, like groceries, and like utilities, we split it in half. Yeah, I think just as a woman, I want to be protective over what I've built and what I've earned. But then I'm also kind of changing my mindset to start thinking about like the life that we want to build together. So I think I always want to have my own thing, my own kind of account.
That's understandable.
This says maintaining a separate account is a good way to maintain independence and avoid financial abuse. Okay, cool. So is it financial abuse when it's on the reverse? Because the standard for a lot of people and a lot of couples and what's been happening in society prior to women getting the ability to be able to do what they want to do when they want to do it has been that the man pays for everything and then the woman then be able to take care of the children. So is it financial abuse that the woman is now taking advantage of him and that he's paying everything and she don't have to necessarily go out and earn in order to make sure that everything is good? When I see these shows, when I see these clips or whatever like that, and I'm going to link down to it in the description in order to get the people credit for the video that they created. She labeled 3 different things that couples need to do, or 3 different ways in which couples need to separate their finances and pay their bills based off of who earns what, right? And so she said 50-50, 100-0, or percentage base. All of them are wrong. Every last one of them are wrong, and I stand on that. As a man that has been married for 20 years, almost 20 years, 19 and a half, almost 20 years, and understands what it means to be successfully married, it all comes home. It all comes home. I need 100%. And if we are building this together, then that means that, and this is one of the reasons that if you get into a relationship, often at times people that get married earlier and are not bringing in a lot of these other experiences within relationships, but you're building this together. When you get married and you ain't got nothing and you shooting in the gym together and you 100 in, you don't separate it, right? You don't start to say, well, this is mine and this is yours, and then you looking at this on the screen and it says maintaining a separate account is a good way to maintain independence and avoid. Yo, listen, if either you all in or you not in at all. I don't want no 50-50, 75-20, 100-0, none of that. We gonna be 100-100, and the reason that we came together is because 2 people together can pull 10 times their weight. Otherwise, if you just there for companionship, then y'all don't need to be living together. But if you're going to do it, go all the way. but I need it all into one pot. I want everything. I don't care how much you make. I don't care if you make more than me. And this is the thing that you're going to have to battle from people that spent a lot of times in relationships learning things that's not best for them because they don't understand what it means to be successfully married. And when you start introducing money into it, it makes the waters muddy because people feel like they have more equity or they have more say so to be able to determine what happens, when the reality is that the gender roles still remain the same. The finances is just a way for us to be able to meet that expectation for the vision that I have for us. This is silly, man.
When I do agree, I feel like every couple should have at least 3 accounts, each personal and one joint. I also feel that you shouldn't be afraid to talk about money and finances, because at the end of the day, if the two of you don't talk about it, it can only get worse eventually if one of you is in trouble.
Have you ever had like a big fight about money, or like things have
Yep.
gotten tense, or
Probably.
you know, it pushed your boundaries?
Yes, I think right before we moved in together.
Would you still go to your job if Amazon sent you a paycheck every 2 weeks? Because there's a little loophole on Amazon right now.
There was a conversation, of course, and at the time, we were just about to open up a second business, so money were really tight for me. And you know, there's a lot of weight on you when you
Totally.
have your money locked, and it's not that it make me uncomfortable. You just, you know, it just felt a lot of weight on me.
I think when we talk about shared expenses, sometimes I feel like my delivery can be a little harsh.
Yeah, what you presenting right now is different from what y'all experience when she get mad or y'all start to argue. So right now, she's presenting to you the nice her, right? She's calling him construction man or whatever it is that his name was and all of that. But in reality, we know what really happened. It's the neck twisting, the hand clapping, the snatching the dreams out of the air and all of that stuff. And, you know, it's an emasculation tactic, and they feel as though they can talk to you like like y'all the same. And then they lose the respect that they have for you because they know that they always had it over your head. Meanwhile, he's investing in himself, which he should be 100% in on what he's doing. And the interesting thing about it is that if he winds up becoming infinitely successful, even though he's paying his share of the resources into the household and stuff, she's going to want to take some partial credit or whole credit for his success within the business and acting like she held him down. Nah, I'm not going for it, family.
I kind of maybe a little bit shut down about it, didn't really talk openly, which is, of course, I acknowledge the mistake later on. You should always be open to talk about it.
Yeah.
And I think too, like from an income perspective, I think we have a pretty big gap.
Yeah, and I think that as a woman, it is hard to sort of grapple with paying more in the relationship.
The opposite of like every rap song.
Every rap song, 100%. And like every book, every relationship book is like, be so passive.
But then the difference is like he's a business owner, and so like he's made, you know, a pretty significant investment in himself and this business, but then that's definitely impacted like what he's bringing in on a regular basis. And I think I pressure him a lot to be like, all right, like what's the plan? Like share that with me so that like we can work towards whatever, you know, you want to be making.
I think, Nico,
Instead of them lowering their lifestyle to where you don't have to meet her expectations for how it is that she thinks that y'all should be living based off of her income, she's going to continue to nag you and be on top of you when you're trying to build something that's going to last forever, or something that you no longer have to be interdependent on society in order for you to be able to bring in resources into your household. This is why you got to stand on your square as a man. This is why you got to lean into your vision, and either she going to get up under it or she going to get up out of there, because you're not going to be nagging me and having no conversations with me, or rather arguments, because conversations are different, right? Me communicating to you whatever it is that is concerning you or your thoughts, that's cool. But when it comes to an argument, I'm not arguing with you. I'm not going back and forth with you. I'm making a significant investment that is going to allow for me to leapfrog what my expectations for myself was earlier in my life in order for me to be able to grow. And it's unreasonable for me to even be talking to you and going back and forth with you in an argument about what it is that I'm doing. Listen, if you don't like it, then go find a man that's more suited for what you got going on. But man, listen, they're going to use this and they're going to leverage this in order to emasculate you. But then at the same time, they got this expectation, such as what this woman on the screen said right now, that it's something that they expect for women to be able to take care, or women to be able to get taken care of from a man that makes more than them. This is why y'all got to be equally yoked.
you would like to be able to take her places and do everything and
No, I
give
want to
her
build my
everything
empire.
she wants, of course. And what you're doing now is obviously a chance to build towards that. And I think that
For some reason, women think that we're building it for you. No, we building it because that's our purpose and that's what God has ordained for us to do. You just so happen to be the person that's along for the ride. And if you want to come along for the ride, then be a great help me. We're not working for you. We're not trying to get to that level to make sure that you are taken care of. You wind up getting taken care of as the residual effect that comes along with what it is that I'm doing. If you ride with me, if you building with me, if you shooting in the gym, you then become the beneficiary of my greatness. But I'm not doing it for you. I'm doing it because this is what I do. Y'all got to get that through y'all head. This ain't for you. I'm not building so I can be able to take you on a vacation. That's not my life goal. And any man that has that as his life goal, they fumbling. They fumbling hard.
that partnership is never going to be 50-50. How often do you meet a partner who makes exactly the
Partner.
same amount as you? That's
Not
crazy.
a husband, a partner.
And I think that what you find attractive about each other is your ambition. And I love that you guys believe in each other so much. So I think you're an amazing couple. I'm so happy that you're here.
Thank you.
You're hyping us up.
No, I really do. You were so vulnerable. Thank you so much for being.
Again, you guys are not doing this for them. You're doing it for you. If she just so decide to get under your covering, and you see how they labeling each other. People don't even call each other exactly who they are anymore. They say my partner, meaning that we're equal. We not equal. We not equal in no way, shape, or form. And stop looking at yourself as such. Be very, very intentional with your movement. Do not shack up and move in together before you're married. And there is a way in which you can be successfully in a relationship versus all of this other stuff that y'all hearing from all of these people that think that they can give you some game and they can't. If you're not giving 100%, if it's not 100, then I don't want to be involved with it. But let me know what y'all thoughts are. Sponsored by T. Henley, 30% off your first order plus a free gift. Make sure you tap into the Patreon.